Narcissistic abuse recovery, you once went from being carried around by your mother to you carrying around your mother. Let me explain. To the psychodynamic theorists, basically the whole point of child development in these very, very early years, as a baby, is to actually develop an internalized version of our mothers. In the beginning, you're being carried around and held, and you're being fed, and your needs are arising, and you couldn't do anything with that, and you didn't know the difference between self and other or anything. You had to have your mother make all the decisions for you and carry you around. Before true emotions existed for you and before they were felt, actually needs existed, and you weren't capable of attending to those yourself. You weren't capable of talking, so your mother had to attune to you and work out what you needed via her instincts. You weren't capable of walking, so you had to wait until she came to you or picked you up, and if you needed to go somewhere, like a doctor's appointment, well, you couldn't take yourself, she had to carry you. Your mother carried you. She carried you and all of your needs, and she acted as the interface between your need arising and it being satisfied. She was the bond that actually existed between a need arising and it being satisfied. But your mum can't carry you around forever because, let's face it, you're going to get too heavy. I'm only joking. In time, you developed the ability to consciously feel emotion, and that was through all of the interaction, the attunement, the mirroring. The interactions of early mirroring acted as a kind of scaffold for the young psyche, the young libidinal psychic center of your own being to reach out to the images and sensations that actually came to you, which was her, when you needed something. As that neural scaffolding built, it left behind neural structure in your brain that helped you relate to the outside world. In truth, you're relating to an inner representation of the outside world. You were relating to an inner representation of your mother. These neural representations of the external person, the external other, are known as objects. Over time, the good and bad versions of these objects, these internal representations of other, started to blend. And as that happened, complex emotions were born. Your ability to consciously feel started to emerge. Now at that point, you were starting to feel emotion in your body, okay? Your needs arising in your body prior to that meant that another body had to come and attend to them and view your needs and attend to them. But now, your body is starting to be the receptacle and receiver of this information that you can feel yourself. With further time, this became very well established. You could feel your feelings. You could name your feelings. You could talk about your feelings. You could not just express them, you could reflect upon them. Slowly, the more this becomes intricate, the more you were able to actually decide that you were thirsty and go and get a glass of water for yourself. Decide that you felt lonely and go downstairs and ask for a hug. You could now feel the emotion or need in your body and take your body to another body, right? Or of course, a tap if you're in the UK, or faucet to get the water. Now, wherever you go, wherever you are, whatever is happening to you, you feel your emotions in your body. Good, bad, a mix, does not matter. That's where you feel them. You no longer need someone to feel them on your behalf and then concern and need to help you. You can feel your own needs, your own emotions in your body. That's the whole idea. You have internalized all of the interactions with your mother, so much so that you are capable of carrying her around with you now. You are now autonomous. Well, I hope that's the case, because that's not the case for everybody. Those people that are not capable of that, we call them narcissists. What I mean to say is that just because someone struggles to feel or struggles to label their emotions doesn't mean that they're a narcissist. It's the level of extremity that I'm talking about here that I've seen in the literature. This is, when it's NPD, this is not alexithymia. This is very, very different. It is an utter, complete numbness. There's nothing there at all. Whereas with alexithymia, most of the time the person can feel in their body, but they struggle to label. With certain emotions, they might have problems feeling them at all. But it's not total. In NPD it is. However, if anything limited is preserved, according to my understanding for future videos, I'll explain how it's limited more than likely to rushes around the head when receiving admiration or when engaging in extraction of sadistic supply from someone. You can feel internally, and you can reflect on yourself and the patterns within these emotions for yourself internally, in your own life or even in therapy. Sadly, when they feel inside, there's nothing to feel. There's nothing there. That's not how they self-reflect. Reflection for them is more about obsessive fantasizing, cognitively constructed fantasies, that sort of thing. Some even saying that they have a dead mother object. Anyway, back to you. So, as I've been trying to say, we should try to be grateful for the fact that we do feel out of this whole experience, okay? Whatever it is, however awful, in there somewhere, we can try to understand that there's a little part that is communicating to us in this very way, the medium by which is our feelings, and it's left behind by the interactions with our mothers. Even if you don't get on with your mum, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that there was enough love there, enough attunement, and the evidence of that appears to be the fact that you feel in the first place. Donald Winnicott, the psychoanalyst, would call your mother a good enough mother for this very reason. Anyway, with that, I'm sure there are some mixed feelings, mixed thoughts, but anyway, hope that helps. Bye for now.